You sit down. You put the cuff on your arm. You press the button on your blood pressure monitor. The screen flashes, and there it is, 140 over 90. You wait for a headache. You wait for chest pain, dizziness, or some kind of warning sign, but nothing happens. You feel absolutely fine. So you tell yourself, it's probably just stress, or I just had a cup of coffee, or the most dangerous excuse of all, this is just normal for my age. As a doctor, I hear this every single day. And today, I am going to give you the honest, uncomfortable truth about a blood pressure of 140,90. No sugarcoating. Welcome to the channel. I'm Dr. Alex, and in my practice, I've seen exactly what happens when people ignore these numbers. By the end of this video, you are going to know exactly whether you need to run to your doctor for prescription pills today, or if you still have a window of time to fix this naturally by changing your lifestyle. I'm also going to tell you a story about a patient of mine who thought 140/90 was his normal working pressure. It's a harsh story, but it's one you need to hear. Before we dive into the medical facts, if you want real, no-nonsense medical advice to protect your health and the health of your family, hit that subscribe button right now and leave a like. It helps me reach people who might be in danger right this second. Let's start with the biggest lie you tell yourself. I feel fine, so I am fine. Listen to me carefully. High blood pressure is called the silent killer for a reason. Your blood vessels do not have pain receptors. When your pressure is 140 over 90, your heart is working overtime, pumping blood against massive resistance. Your arteries are stretching, getting micro tears, and becoming stiff. But you won't feel it. People think 140 over 90 is just a borderline number. Let me clear this up. According to global medical guidelines, 140 over 90 is hypertension. It is a disease. It is not normal aging. Your blood pressure does not have a license to go up just because you cross the age of 40 or 50. And let's address the elephant in the room. The internet is full of gurus telling you to drink beetroot juice, chew raw garlic, or take hot baths to fix your blood pressure. Let me be brutally honest as a doctor. A clove of garlic is not going to save you from a stroke. Beetroot juice might be healthy, but it is not a medical treatment for a chronically damaged cardiovascular system. When your pipes are bursting, you don't pour juice on them. Let me tell you what ignoring 140/90 actually looks like in real life. I had a patient. Let's call him John. He was 48 years old, successful, hardworking, a father of two. John came in for a routine checkup, and his blood pressure was 145/92. I told him we needed to take action. We needed to change his diet, lower his stress, and if that didn't work in a few months, start medication. John laughed. He said, "Doc, my pressure has been 140 for 5 years. That's just my baseline. I play tennis, I feel strong, I'm not taking chemicals." He refused treatment, and he didn't change his lifestyle. 14 months later, I saw John's name on a hospital chart. He didn't come to my clinic. He was in the ICU, intensive care unit. He had suffered a massive hemorrhagic stroke. A blood vessel in his brain literally burst because it couldn't handle the constant high pressure anymore. Today, John doesn't play tennis. He is in a wheelchair. The right side of his body is paralyzed, and he struggles to speak. His wife has to help him eat and dress. This didn't happen because his pressure was 200. It happened because his pressure was 140 over 90, day after day, month after month, silently destroying his blood vessels until one finally gave up. John's story is a tragedy, but the scariest part? It was 100% preventable. To understand why 140 versus 90 is so dangerous, you need to understand what those numbers actually mean. Think of your cardiovascular system as the plumbing in your house. Your heart is the main pump, and your blood vessels are the pipes. The top number, 140, the systolic pressure, is the force of the blood against your artery walls when your heart beats. The bottom number, 90, the diastolic pressure, is the pressure when your heart is resting between beats. Here is the problem. At 90, your heart and your blood vessels are never truly resting. They are constantly under tension, day and night. When the pressure inside the pipes is constantly high, the walls of your arteries adapt. They become thicker, stiffer, and less elastic. They develop microscopic tears. And guess what happens next? Cholesterol loves those tears. It builds up inside them like plaque in a rusty pipe, narrowing the blood vessels even more. And this doesn't just happen in your arms. This high-pressure blood is being blasted into your most delicate organs. Let's look at your kidneys. They are essentially a massive network of tiny, fragile blood vessels acting as a filter. Blasting them with 140/90 pressure is like using a high-pressure power washer on a delicate spider web. Over time, those filters scar and die. You won't feel it until you are in stage 3 or 4 of chronic kidney disease. Let's look at your heart. Your heart is a muscle. If you force it to pump against high resistance 100,000 times a day, it acts like a bicep lifting heavy weights. It gets bigger and thicker. We call this left ventricular hypertrophy. A thick, enlarged heart becomes stiff. It doesn't pump efficiently. This is a one-way ticket to heart failure. You will start feeling short of breath just walking up a single flight of stairs. So, the big question. You are sitting in my office. Your pressure is 140/90. Do I write you a prescription for blood pressure medication immediately? My honest answer? It depends on your overall risk. In modern medicine, we don't just treat numbers, we treat the whole patient. Let me give you the exact checklist I use in my clinic. Scenario number 1, the immediate prescription. If your pressure is 140/90 and you have any of the following red flags: you have diabetes, you already have signs of kidney damage, you have high cholesterol or a history of heart disease in your family, or you are a heavy smoker. If you have these red flags, your cardiovascular risk is already sky high. In this scenario, yes, you are getting a prescription for pills today. No debate. No, let's wait and see. We need to bring that pressure down immediately to protect your brain and your heart. And yes, you will likely need to take these medications every single day. If you are 45 or 50, your pressure is 140/90, but your blood tests are perfect. No diabetes, no organ damage, no family history of early heart attacks. In this scenario, I am going to give you a choice. I am going to give you a 3 to 6 month window. I am giving you a chance to fix this without chemicals. But listen to me. This is not a free pass to go home and do nothing. Lifestyle modification is not just a nice phrase doctors use. It is a medical prescription. It requires discipline. It requires hard work. If you come back to my office in 6 months and your pressure is still 140/90 because you didn't change a single thing about how you live, then the grace period is over. So, let's say you are in that second group. You have no red flags, and I gave you a 6-month window to fix your 140/90 without prescription drugs. What exactly is your prescription for these 6 months? It comes down to 4 non-negotiable rules. Not maybe try this. You must do this. Every extra kilogram of fat on your body forces your heart to pump harder to push blood through miles of extra blood vessels. It's simple physics. For every single kilogram, or 2.2 pounds, of weight you lose, your blood pressure drops by about 1 millimeter of mercury. Lose 10 kilos, and that 140 might just drop to 130 without a single pill. Stop pouring salt on your food. But more importantly, stop eating processed garbage. You think you don't eat a lot of salt? If you eat canned soups, frozen pizzas, sausages, or fast food, you are drowning your blood vessels in sodium. Sodium pulls water into your blood, increasing the volume and blasting your artery walls. Cut it down to under 2,000 milligrams a day. Read the labels. I don't care if you hate the gym. You need 150 minutes of moderate cardiovascular exercise every single week. Brisk walking, cycling, swimming. Your heart is a muscle. If you don't train it to be efficient, it will fail you. People love to quote that one study saying a glass of red wine is good for the heart. Let me stop you right there. If your pressure is 140/90, daily alcohol is keeping it there. Alcohol directly raises blood pressure and damages the heart muscle over time. Cut it out. If you do these 4 things strictly for 6 months, there is a massive chance you will walk into my clinic and show me a perfect 120/80. But before you start completely changing your life, we need to address something critical. What if your 140/90 isn't even real? What if your machine at home is lying to you? Or worse, what if you are making massive mistakes every time you measure it? As a doctor, I see people measure their blood pressure incorrectly all the time. Here are the top mistakes you are making at home right now that artificially inflate your numbers. Mistake 1. You didn't rest. You walked up the stairs, sat down, and immediately pressed the button. Wrong. Your heart is still recovering. You must sit quietly for exactly 5 minutes before taking a reading. Mistake 2. You are talking, even quietly, or scrolling on your phone, or watching a stressful news broadcast can raise your systolic pressure by 10 to 15 points. Mistake 3. Your legs are crossed. Crossing your legs at the knees restricts blood flow and forces your heart to pump harder, spiking the number by up to 8 points. Both feet must be flat on the floor. Mistake 4. A full bladder. If you need to go to the bathroom, your nervous system is agitated. This alone can add 10 to 15 points to your reading. Go to the bathroom first. Mistake 5. The wrong cuff size. This is huge. If you have a large arm and use a standard cuff, it will squeeze too tight and give you a falsely high reading. If your arm is thin and the cuff is too big, the reading will be falsely low. Make sure the cuff fits properly. And finally, there is white coat hypertension. You measure it at home, it's 125/80. You come to my office, you see my white coat, you get nervous, and boom, it's 145/90. This is why a single reading in a doctor's office is never enough to diagnose you. We need a 24-hour blood pressure monitor or a consistent diary of your morning and evening readings at home for at least a week, measured perfectly. So, let's bring this all together. Is 140/90 normal for your age? Absolutely not. It is stage 1 hypertension. It is a blinking red light on your car's dashboard telling you the engine is overheating. If you ignore it, you end up like my patient John. You risk a stroke, a heart attack, or kidney failure. But if you catch it now, you have power. You have a choice. If you have red flags like diabetes or existing organ damage, you need to accept that medication is your best friend. It is saving your life, pill by pill, every single day. If you don't have those red flags, you have a golden window of 3 to 6 months to drop the weight, cut the salt, stop drinking alcohol, and start sweating. I've given you the facts today, but I cannot treat you through a screen. So here is your medical homework for this week. First, get a good, clinically validated blood pressure monitor. Measure your blood pressure perfectly, avoiding all the mistakes we just talked about. Do it every morning and every evening for exactly 7 days. Write those numbers down in a notebook. Second, take that notebook, walk into your own doctor's office, and show it to them. Do not ask a neighbor. Do not ask a guy on a forum. Talk to your doctor. Ask them to run a full blood panel to check your kidneys and cholesterol. If they prescribe medication, you take it. If they prescribe lifestyle changes, you do the work. Your health is your responsibility, but you don't have to do it alone. If this video opened your eyes today, If it made you rethink that 140/90 reading, I need you to do 3 things right now. First, hit the like button. This tells the YouTube algorithm that this is real, life-saving medical information, and it will show this video to someone else who might be ignoring their high blood pressure right now. You could literally save a life just by clicking like. Second, hit subscribe. On this channel, we don't do fake internet cures. We do real medicine, real facts, and brutal honesty to keep you alive and healthy for your family. And third, I want to hear from you. Go down to the comments right now and tell me, what was your blood pressure this morning, and what did your doctor tell you about it? I read the comments, and I want to know where you are starting your journey. Now, you know that dropping weight and eating right can lower your pressure. But did you know there are 3 specific everyday foods sitting in your kitchen right now that are secretly spiking your blood pressure even more than table salt? I'm going to expose exactly what those foods are and why you need to throw them in the trash today in my next video. Click the video on the screen right now to watch it. Stay healthy, take your measurements seriously, and I'll see you in the next one.